Diane in Denmark here, rah rah rah. It is Wednesday, which is Little Saturday if you live in Sweden, and also in Flylady land it's anti-procrastination day. You know, the day that we do some of those little tasks that we've been putting off because we think they're going to take too much time or effort, and we just can't be bothered. And today I wanted to share with you some of the things that I use just to stop me from procrastinating on tasks, how to just make cleaning a wee bit more fun or a bit nicer. And as I've mentioned before, I'm not a professional YouTuber. This is not a business for me, so I am not doing affiliate links and product placement. I will not be giving you any links to buy these things. It's just some ideas. So that, you know, if you are out shopping and instead of coming home with another knick-knack that you're going to have to dust, why don't you get something that's going to make life just a wee bit easier when you're doing your cleaning and, you know, make it a bit more fun. So anyway, let's work through them. And I thought I would start with my little cleaning caddy. And remember, I've said this before, you don't need anything, you don't need to buy anything to do your cleaning, but you can maybe make it a wee bit more fun for yourself, a bit easier for yourself. So I have my little cleaning caddy. You've seen this one before. This is a really cheap one from IKEA, and it does the job. You may want to get one that's a bit more fancy, but you know, it's up to you. And in my cleaning caddy, all I keep is some plastic bags, so that if I find items which are giveaway, throwaway, you know, when I'm doing my weekly home blessing hour, I can get them directly into the bags. I'm not having to kind of stop what I'm doing and go off somewhere else. The only kind of main product that I use is one of those Pledge 3-in-1 sprays, because you can use that for everything, but I basically only use it on the wooden tables that we have in the living room and in the dining room. Apart from that, I don't really use any products, because well, when you're cleaning regularly, you don't need any heavy products. And then I've got a couple of dusting mitts. I've got some wet wipes in here. I've got, this is my favourite thing, the glass cleaner. And remember, you don't need the same product as me. I use one that's environmentally friendly, it smells good, and I'm just using a tiny amount of it. If you're looking for something that's good for the environment, good for your health, you know, it's not going to be affecting your animals. Watch out for, you know, your dogs if you're using any weird products. A good place to find those kind of environmentally friendly things are your local health food shop. They'll usually have a good range of things that are good for the environment. And then I've got, you know, my Flylady cloths. The microfiber ones are really good. It doesn't need to be the Flylady ones, I've got Flylady ones. And then I've got a couple of really old rags, if there's something, I don't know, really dirty, and this can be used and then finally thrown away. These are ones which I did have in the kitchen, and then they've been through the washing machine a few times, and then this is their last stop before they head out. Right, so that's my cleaning caddy. And then of course, Flylady feather duster. And what I did with my one is I've taped it, as you can see, onto the pole of what used to be a mop. And I like that because I can either use it like at this length, or I can extend it to get up to the ceilings and underneath furniture. So that's a classic. And again, it doesn't need to be the Flylady mop, but I've got my Flylady one. And actually, that's one of my anti-procrastination tasks today. I'm going to give it a wash. It's going to have a wee bath and a little spaddy today. I'm just going to use some shampoo, lukewarm water, gently, you know, massage it, and then I'm going to leave it outside to dry in the sunshine. So that's my AP day task today, anti-procrastination day task. I'll just put that down. And then, what else am I going to, I'm going to talk about other stuff in a minute, but let me finish off the cleaning things first. You may have seen, I think it was back in January, I got myself a scoosh mop. And I used to use the conventional mop, you know, into the bucket of water, wring it out, and then, you know, do the floors. I basically don't use that one anymore since I got this little scoosh mop. And what it is you've got a container which you can fill up with water, and I filled up with water and my favourite environmentally friendly floor cleaner. And you've got, I mean, there's no electricity or anything involved. I love this, it's really good for the planet and doesn't cost any money to run. And I keep this hung up, and I've tied on a little bow. I keep this hung up on the side of our fridge. I've got a really heavy fridge magnet, and I keep it hung up there so I can just take it out at a minute's notice, especially if there's been a bit of, if it's wet out in the hall, or if we've spilt something here in the kitchen. And it comes with some little pads, you can see them here, and it's got a little handle here, maybe you can hear it. Can you hear that? It goes squish, squish. And then you can just wipe up, whatever you've spilt. And then you take off the pad and that can go in the washing machine. So that's a really good thing. And then when I'm doing my weekly home blessing hour, what I do is I run this one underneath the hot tap, and then I put it underneath the squish squish mop, and then I'm kind of good to go, and it cleans really well, so I'm really pleased with that. But of course you don't need anything like that, just use whatever you've got. But if you're looking to invest in a new mop, that's a good one. And then the last thing I have really for cleaning in here on a day-to-day basis is my little brush pan set from IKEA, and that also, it sits between our fridge and the door to the kitchen, so you can't see it, but it just kind of stays in here. So if once I've been cooking, if there's a lot of crumbs, I just quickly mop them up and then throw them out the window. So that's what I have in the kitchen, and that really cuts down on the day-to-day cleaning. But anyway, let's get on to the more fun stuff. And hold on, I need to take off my cardigan because it is roasting in here. I'm going to need my cardigan when I bike down to the beach in about 20 minutes time, so let's get going. Right, other things which I use to motivate me and keep it fun. Oh, I have to talk about the timer. Yeah, now you can have the Flylady timer. This one is from IKEA. My Flylady timer is downstairs in my office. The kids have timers. The timers are, if you don't have a timer, like a physical timer, maybe you want to get one, because if we use the telephone, we tend to, we go over to the telephone and suddenly there's notifications and we get thrown off track. So if you don't have a timer, that's a great thing, because it will let you get started on a job, because you can say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do 10 minutes and then I get to stop. And also, if you are a perfectionist and you want to spend that whole day cleaning, it will tell you when to stop, because once we actually get started, sometimes we fall over into that other ditch of wanting to do the whole thing, wanting to clean the whole house, and then we forget to take breaks. So the reminder, the timer will be a reminder for you either to get started or to stop the job. So timers are fantastic. If you don't like ones with the beep beep beep, I found these really cute glass ones in Sweden, a little shop in Sweden, and this one is a 5-minute timer and this one is a 15-minute timer. How fantastic is that? So, and kids love the timer also, because you can say to them, okay, we're going to work on schoolwork, homework for 15 minutes, and then you're going to take a break, and go outside and play, or play on your, iPad for 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back and do 15 minutes, So it's a great way to teach kids. Now, here's one that you maybe weren't expecting. A nice apron. As I've said to you, I always just clean in the clothes that I'm wearing. This is my recent clothes swap top. Really pleased with this one. Because I'm not cleaning for the whole day, I'm just doing 15 or 20 minutes at a time, and I'm not using toxic products. I can clean in the clothes that I'm wearing. Though when I'm in the kitchen, for some reason I cannot do anything in the kitchen unless I'm wearing my pinny, unless I've got my apron on. So you might want to get yourself a nice apron, and I'm going to mention it because I know everybody always asks where is this apron is from. This one is from Ulster Weavers. They make really nice cotton aprons. And the other thing that I do when I am on holiday, you know, on vacation, instead of bringing back some kind of weird shell souvenir from the place, I try and bring back a clutter-free souvenir. And sometimes that will be an apron. I've got a really nice one from Paris. But the thing that I generally come back from holidays are tea towels, because you know I can find a tea towel that says, you know, Paris or Nice, Côte d'Azur, and it just gives me a little reminder of my trip. But I'm using it, and then, you know, once it's used, then I can declutter it. So those are great clutter-free souvenirs, you know, an apron or, you know, tea towel, hand towel. Okay, and then the final thing, because I'm off on my bike very soon down from a skinny dip. This is my favourite thing for getting jobs done, especially jobs that I don't want to do, or if I'm out working in the garden. I've got wireless headphones, and I've also got a little headset, and quite often I'll phone my mum in Edinburgh and we'll just chat, and I'll be outside, you know, pruning bushes in the garden, or I can be mopping inside, or often I listen to music. I listen to music all the time, so I've got my headphones on. And the most recent thing that I listen to is, you know, I'm doing this Dressing Your Truth program, and I've been binge watching Carol's videos. I can, you know, set them up on my iPad, put on my wireless cordless headphones, and I can be doing tasks, you know, like folding laundry, whatever it is, or and it really helps me to get the job done, because I can be listening to something entertaining and doing the job at the same time. Okay, and last thing, if you are into, you know, all the notepads and all the journals, personally, and that's not me. I just like to write things down and get them done. But you may want to get some kind of fun notebook for you to do. This is one that I picked up in Edinburgh. Was it in Edinburgh when I was visiting Mum? And it's actually quite a good notepad if you're doing getting things done system. And remember I told you about organising the thoughts in our head. I'll try and link to the video there. You know, that every time you have a thought in your head, you know, is it, what kind of action? Is it something you have to do at the computer, or is it something you have to discuss with somebody? Is it something you have to buy? This works quite well for that, as does, this is an old one that I had. So you may want to, you know, pick up a fun notebook. Maybe that might, you know, encourage you to do a little bit more organisation or planning. You know, if you're doing your daily focus, Plan and Play Tuesday. This is actually one that I use for making my grocery list. And this is one of my daughter's ones. My daughter is a T4 in the Dressing Your Truth system. She's very organised, and but can also procrastinate, because she likes everything to be done perfectly. So, you know, if you've got tasks coming up, you want to plan things out. So I think that's kind of covered what I have. As I said to you, you don't need to buy anything, but if you're out shopping and you normally buy the same old knickknacks that you're coming back with because you're just kind of mindlessly shopping, perhaps you want to buy something nice, like, you know, a nice kitchen cleaner, or some nice washing up liquid, or a nice washing brush. Oh, better mention this one again, because I know if I had been a professional YouTuber, I would have been plugging this sink caddy, because if I had 10 krona for every time somebody asked me where I got this one. This is my little sink caddy, and you will see it in all my pictures on Instagram when I post my shiny sink picture at the end of the evening. You know, after we've had dinner, you know, I dry out my sink and I take a wee photo with my wee Flylady doll and post it. That keeps me accountable. And this is my little sink caddy, and in here I've got, you know, my washing up brush, a wee scoosh scoosh for wiping down the counters, and my dishwashing soap. And this caddy, you can pull it apart and it goes in the dishwasher when it needs a wee clean, when it gets this little spa treatment once a month when we're in the kitchen zone. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for you. The main thing is, perhaps if you've never done anything of this before, is to use a timer. Get yourself a timer, just a cheap timer, because the timer is going to be the main thing that is going to help you get out of that rut of procrastinating about things. It really is a game changer. Anyway, I need to put all this away. I need to get my bike keys out. I've got my bag at the launch pad. I'm meeting Vibeke for an early skinny dip this morning. And it'll be a great start to the day. So anyway, I shall see you tomorrow, and all I have left to say is live long and prosper. May the Danish hygge be with you. Don't procrastinate, just do it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.